So, you wanted to know about one of the most stressful times in my life. Well, just this past year, I had to you asked me one of the most stressful times in my life, and maybe I could say it was losing 200 pounds, or maybe I could say that it was my near-death experience with peritonitis. But I'd have to say by far, it was witnessing my father die from melanoma. This past year, I had some very, very stressful moments. I remember needing to go to his hospital room because I decided that I wanted to be the one to explain to him that the cancer was so bad, it might be a good idea to take him off all his other medications. The conversation went something like this: Dad, you're on a medication called Lovenox, and that's going to break up the pulmonary embolus in your chest, and it's going to keep the pulmonary emboli from killing you. But the cancer has progressed to the point where it's really out of control, Dad, and it might be better for you to die of the embolus because that's faster. And if we keep you on the Lovenox, you might not get a chance to have that quick of a death. Talk about the most difficult conversation you can have with anyone, no less your father. So where am I? I'm back down here at the railroad yard, and that locomotive right there, that was one of my father's favorite diesel locomotives to operate. You asked me about the most stressful experience in my life, and I could say it was losing 200 pounds, and then I could say that it was the peritonitis that almost killed me. But by far, the most stressful experience I've ever had was watching my father die of melanoma. This past year, I lost my dad. He was 80. He acted like he was 50, a young 50. Nothing could stop him. And as he became consumed by the cancer, he taught me one final lesson. He taught me how to die. We talked about fear and courage and bravery. And this man, talk about courage. He looked death in the eyes. And he gave us all permission to be okay with it. He said, "It's okay, son. It's okay. I've had my time." And he said, he was a hospice volunteer. And he looked at me and he said, "Son, I've been around a lot of people at the end. And honestly, I don't know what they're so afraid of. This is a natural thing." And I'll never forget one night we thought we lost him. The chest pain was horrible, and we called the nurse in. And as things started to subside and we realized we were going to have him another day, the nurse was asking him questions about his anxiety level and his fear, and I happened to be laying next to him in the bed at the time. And he lifted up his hand, and he placed it on my head, and he patted me on the side of the head, and he said, "No, you don't understand. I'm not anxious. Because all I have to do is reach out my hand and I can touch love." I'm 43 years old. What a validation. How did I handle it? Well, I'll tell you how I handled it. I did what he asked me to do. I let him go. I did whatever I could to take care of him. I stopped most of my work and I just took care of him as best I could. He was the most amazing man. And I'm going to miss him.